done and ready, and that's my fourth book. And we
talking about all this expectation of the brides and blah blah blah, does the celebrity brides get bridezilla as well?
sometimes I think the bridezillas are more kind of like the bridesmaids, which are their personal assistants. The personal assistants are always crazier than the celebrities. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I think they're all just afraid they're going to lose their job any minute. But the celebrities, and even in fashion design, the fashion designers and such, they're always the coolest, easygoing people. It's just their assistants are always a little cuckoo crazy. Because they're always like trying to obviously take care of them in a certain way. But so if you make the assistant happy, then it's an easy road from there.
Yeah. And I could see that you don't mix too much flowers. You go for a line and that's
Well, I feel like in events, the way I design events, I always make sure that every room, every situation you go in, it's a different story. Mm-hmm. So if you're going into a cocktail area, that's one color story and it's one theme. The ceremony is one color story and one theme, and then the after dinner, and then the after party, and it depends on how much money you have, how many different parties you can have. But I think it's really important to always have different colors, different themes, and don't mix too many flowers together. So my kind of rule of thumb is never use more than 3 types of flowers, and never mix more than 2 types of color stories.
Okay. Talking about budget, what was the most expensive budget in wedding that you
probably
done?
when I worked with the royal families in Qatar. You know, they were millions and millions of dollars.
Millions of millions.
Yeah. So that was kind of crazy when I looked at the flower bill and I was like, are you kidding me with this? But, I mean, can you imagine? Talk about stress. It's a party for 3,000 women. And, like, because the men aren't invited to these weddings. It's only women.
Okay. You have done many brands, job for many famous brands like Tiffany, Burberry, whatever. The list is...
This year we did
it's really
Louis
huge.
Vuitton. We did Alexander McQueen. We did... I'm working with Bulgari right now on their Oscar events. I'm blessed to have everything in my career, and all the other companies and Goya. I mean, all of these companies that I work with, they're on the same level. And that was my only deal with the Four Seasons, where it was when I started getting busy outside, I promised them that I would always keep everything I do outside the hotel on the same level as the hotel. So I'm working at the best hotel in the world, so I want to always have my clients be the best. So that's important to me.
Which corporate job you have done that you said this would really fit with a wedding?
Probably. I mean, I worked a lot with Deutsche Bank. Was great. It was a big banking job that we did at the Opera House. There's an event that we did with Celine Dion for a private client in Austria that was beautiful. It just depends on the colors, you know. I think every event I do, to be honest, could translate into a wedding, because the difference between me and like an event designer is I'm like a artisan in what I do.
Did you get married?
Have I? No, but I would love to.
How would be
we talked. Okay, so I have my wedding is dreamt. So it would be at the castle where Eva Longoria got married. Not because I'm a princess, but just because I like that whole idea of like grandeur. I want there to be like live elephants and giraffes.
Oh my god!
And I want it to kind of be Indian themed. Like, see, that's a dangerous question. The whole wedding's kind of out in my head.
I love it.
You know, so yeah, the whole thing is just kind of there. So I need to kind of hurry. So I don't know if I'm going to ride a giraffe, or the giraffe will be pulled with a piece of silk ribbon, or I probably will be on the elephant, like riding in.
I want this.
I know, you want that wedding in there. I know. I know. We were doing this. I've been traveling so much the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks I've been in Los Angeles, New York twice, Texas, Arizona, back to Paris, back to Los Angeles, here to Brazil, and then this evening I fly back to Paris. So I did this huge Indian kind of party on Halloween in Arizona, and it was amazing. Just like all the flowers like strung together, and it was all just happy, beautiful colors. So I think that would be one. Maybe that would be the kind of the party the night before would be the elephant thing. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so we'll just end with some quick things, okay?
Yeah.
So, love.
Okay, it's rare.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Marriage.
Like the idea of it now. Before I was very afraid of that, but I was like, why would I ever get married? That's ridiculous. But now I really like the idea, probably because of the elephant.
Flowers.
Passion.
Luxury.
Money.
A bridal bouquet.
Not necessary.
An icon bride.
You know, I've already probably worked with my icon bride.
Who is she?
Tina Turner.
Oh, great.
I mean, so that's one thing I'm so lucky in my career. It's like people, I feel like I should just retire. I think that, to be perfectly honest, when you say luxury, I think flowers are one of the biggest luxury you can have in your life, because I don't think people understand how expensive flowers are. Very expensive. So, you know, like when I was on Oprah, we had this discussion about, you know, how flowers are the biggest luxury. To have flowers in your home on a daily basis, that's when you know you've done well.
And I love
you know, and when your husband calls and says, we can't afford the flowers anymore, that's when you know you need to get divorced. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Or maybe he's gambled his money away.
An unforgettable wedding?
An unforgettable wedding?
Maybe be the same one.
No, I think an unforgettable wedding is any wedding where there's a lot of love in the room and there's a lot of love in the whole planning process. I think that's unforgivable. Unforgettable. Yeah, and unforgettable. Because I only work well in an atmosphere that's like a loving, kind of happy atmosphere, so to speak. So, yeah.
Something breathtaking.
Something breathtaking. I'm so funny. Like, I get my breath taken away all the time because I'm not jaded. I think a lot of wedding planners and a lot of people that work in events, I think they're very jaded, because I think I did a couple weddings last year and I said to the event planner, I'm like, sorry, I'm going to say the F word. That's so fucking beautiful. Like, why aren't you excited to look at that? And they're like, oh, we see beautiful things all the time. And I'm just like, I never want to be that person who doesn't get excited about looking at something that's luxurious or beautiful. I think that's what keeps you inspired, that keeps you sexy, that keeps you on top, that keeps you happy. So if there's one, I know it's not the question you asked, but if there's one thing that I would be afraid of losing in my life, it would be I would be afraid of losing, if I didn't have inspiration or beautiful things to look at, then I don't think I'd want to be a part of this life.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Brazil?
Inspiration.
Brazilians?
I love them. Happy. They remind me of happy Californians with a cute accent.
Jeff Leatham?
Jeff Leatham. He's a cool guy. But he's a sir now, so you have to call him Sir Jeff Leatham.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry.
I know. What the crap? Oh, that's crazy, right?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm very honored to have you here. Thank you very, very much.
You.